So, okay, all Eagle games should come with a Red Bull so it keeps all of us awake. They're kind of really good and really boring, and now it'll get worse because Lane Johnson is out for several weeks. It's not season ending, but he'll be out a month plus. And Jalen Hurts' passer rating gets into the 70s without Lane Johnson. So I thought the Spurs Tim Duncan dynasty was boring. Philadelphia wins all feel like they're doing it by submission. So they're second most 3-and-outs, top 3 in punts, and yet they just kind of squeeze you. They're a little bit like a python. They just kind of squeeze you to death. And last year, at least, you were getting those Saquon Barkley big explosive runs. You don't get those. They're bottom 5 in passing offense. Man, were they targeting A.J. Brown last night. So it's not much fun. It's got an assembly line feel to it. In fact, Jalen Hurts is 4-0 this year in his 4 worst games. So they're unlike Buffalo, which feels very beholden to how Josh Allen plays. Philadelphia can win ugly. That's kind of the only way they win, by submission. And there's the old saying, Bill Belichick used to always say, his genius as a defensive coach was, I want to make the other team play left-handed. I want to take away their strength. What is Philadelphia's strength? I mean, A.J. Brown got the targets, but Devontae's been more reliable. Saquon Barkley's great, but not this year. Jalen doesn't throw a lot of picks. He also doesn't throw for a lot of yards. I mean, their defensive interior line could be their identity. They're great. So Saquon Barkley's regressed. There's wide receiver drama. The quarterback's limited. They squeeze you into submission. They're not even pushing much.
Some of these takes are just ridiculous. People are saying Saquon Barkley has regressed. The offensive line is bad, while ignoring they're banged up and injured. And that the new offensive coordinator is a problem because he's never called plays before. And now they're saying Jalen Hurts is limited. Well, you know who looked limited last night? Jared Goff. You know who looked limited yesterday? Patrick Mahomes. Baker Mayfield looked limited. Lamar Jackson looked limited. What are we even talking about here? It's just absurd. Let me be perfectly clear. The Philadelphia Eagles undeniably need to play better on offense. No one is arguing that. But that doesn't mean it's open season to make wild claims that Barkley has regressed or that Hurts is a limited quarterback. It's just so over the top. Before we go further, a quick reminder to watch the full video and subscribe. It's the best way to support the channel and helps me keep making the best Eagles content possible. Now, back to the point. It's unbelievable. If you listen to the commentary during the game, they weren't trashing the Eagles. They were praising this team, pointing out that the run game is likely to improve as the season goes on, and highlighting that the Eagles' defense might just be their identity right now. Let's not forget who the Eagles just played. The Detroit Lions have a top 2 offense in the entire NFL. And as was said on the broadcast, the Philadelphia Eagles embarrassed them. We should be talking about that dominant defensive performance. But instead, the narrative is all about a limited Jalen Hurts. Where exactly was he supposed to go with the ball on many of those plays? And let's not ignore the fact that he has been using his legs effectively all season, creating plays off script. People are even shocked the tush-push didn't work when multiple starting linemen were out. It's a wonder they were even in the game. It's so unbelievable that we're focusing on Hurts, who had 166 total yards, and calling it a problem. Let's put that in perspective with other quarterbacks from this week. Caleb Williams, who got a ton of praise for his win, had 193 passing yards. Baker Mayfield had 173. Trevor Lawrence had 153. Matthew Stafford, with Puka Nacua and Sean McVay, had only 130 yards. Justin Herbert had just 81 passing yards, and I'm not blaming him for that. Lamar Jackson had 193 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. So let's stop with this limitations nonsense. Seriously, it was a cold, windy game where even kicking field goals was a challenge. It was far from a perfect or great offensive showing. The offense absolutely, 100% needs to be better. But the selective criticism is glaring. When other teams win ugly, it's celebrated as a sign of grit. But for the Eagles, it's a crisis. The narrative immediately defaults to Jalen Hurts and an unhappy wide receiver. When they don't force the ball to A.J. Brown, Everyone freaks out. When they do try to get him the ball, they're accused of forcing it. It's a never-ending, cyclical, nonsensical argument. The bottom line is this. The Philadelphia Eagles held a powerhouse Lions offense to just 9 points. Let's look at what other elite teams allowed this week. The Falcons gave up 27 points. The Buccaneers were in a 44-32 shootout. The Packers' elite defense gave up 20 points to Jameis Winston and the Giants. The Jaguars hung 35 on the Chargers. The Rams only scored 21 points off of 4 forced turnovers against the Seahawks. Jacoby Brissett and the Cardinals put up 22 on the 49ers. The Ravens gave up 16 to a struggling Broncos offense. The Chiefs lost 22-19 to the Broncos. The Eagles won 16-9 and have the top record in the NFC. So, what more do you want? But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree, let's get some discussions going, let's get into some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. Please consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here and would love to have you be a part of it. I want to build something we all feel connected to and are really excited about. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really helps with visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.